Dear parents, what do you think about these questions? Teenagers are becoming more and more independent. There is a change in the ways of thinking of the teenagers as they're growing up, and often there is a gap between what the parents think and what the teenagers are thinking. And it's very, very hard to influence teenagers. And if you believe the answers to this question is yes, this video is for you. Who am I? I'm a family coach and a teenagers coach. My name is Rahul Shah, and I'm going to talk to you about how do you work with teenagers? How should you adapt your style, and who else should play a role along with you so that you can have a nurturing teenage growth as he's transitioning from a child to a teenager. So there is a subtle transition which is happening for teenagers. The teenagers are now able to think on their own. They are introspecting. They can explore what's changing in their body. Their mental thinking abilities are increasing. They can plan for the future. They can reflect about the past, and they wonder about their present. And they have lots of questions in their mind, and they don't know who to ask. And therefore, it's very important that the parents creates a supportive environment where the parent has an influence. So if researchers have identified there are three people who can influence the teenagers. The parents for sure, even up to young adults, parents can influence. The peer, which often parents don't have control over, and also the teachers who often are so busy in managing so many students that often parents also don't have control over. So who else needs to be added to the ecosystem? So along with the parents, the role of a life coach comes into play, which can create a good cushion for the teenagers to transition from school to college, college to their universities, and universities to the first job. So what is life coaching not versus what is life coaching all about? So let's talk about what is it not. It's not about solving situations for the teenagers. The idea is to help the teenagers be independent in his or her thinking. Therefore, this is a non-judgmental space where coach creates a trusting bond with the teenagers so that teenagers can open up and share his thinking, explore with him or her the challenges he is facing, or work along with him or her towards the goal or the future goals which he or she is thinking and planning for. And therefore, the coach provides that platform to not solve but ask good, effective, powerful questions. Also, he or she makes the teenagers work towards that goal. So he or she becomes an accountability partner. So every twice a week, once or twice a week, he would have a conversation and then ask the person how did he progress from where the teenagers was to where he or she wants to go, right? So this kind of makes the teenagers be responsible for someone else, the third person. And there is, because of that third person who is neutral, is not the parent or the teacher, the responsibility is self-owned, and it takes some time, but once it's established, it becomes a very easy conversation between the teenagers and the young adult. It's not about going deeper into the problems of the past, but it's all about focusing on the here and now and the future. How can the present be changed, and how can the future can be shifted? Because past is gone and there's no point working through the past. And there are various scenarios which the coach can explore. The coach can work on habit issues. Coach can work about proactively career planning. Coach can work about working through some of the situations or the challenges which the teenagers is working on. Coach can talk about some relationship issues between the parents and the teenagers, or with his friends or the peers. So it can be any topic, or it could be something related to himself or herself, worrying about having a self-doubt, or working through building his physical or mental capabilities to be ready for the next transition, that is for college or his entrance exams. So whatever that can be. And this is a very, very important space which our proactive parents often realizes that they need to have this person come into the family. And it's like an extension to the family where the life coach plays a very important role and then gives a broader picture to the parents. So the parents can also reinforce and see if the teenagers is working through those goals or not. The coach often will not break the trust bond between the teenagers and the life coach, so therefore he or she will be unable to share the full details, but key highlights of what has been discussed will often be shared. So therefore parents also gets an insight from the coach, and coach also can provide how the parents should also shift their ways of working. So it's a very powerful process. I have been working in this area for last 4 years, and all the parents and the students I have worked with has a significant impact, and parents can see that shift as you see the progress happening. And typically it takes 6 to 12 sessions, so 3 months to 6 months maximum, because the coach, a good life coach is not someone who will make the individual dependent, but make the individual more independent, and also provide the information to the parents so that his or her style can be shifted. So I would encourage all the parents to work through it. It's slightly different from the therapy and counseling. Often there is no taboo between that, perception is not there, and teens feels good that I'll be getting a life coach. So it's a very positive connections which the parents can communicate, and they can have a 20-25 minute conversation with the coach, so that the coach can feel comfortable, and the teenagers should also have a decision that yes, I want to appoint this person as a life coach for me. So those chemistry connect we should often encourage as a parent. So you should speak to more than one life coach and see who comes as closest to building a rapport with the teenager. So I will highly recommend. So this is slightly different from counseling and therapy, because counseling and therapy talks about the issues, which is more going deeper into the past, and also providing solution. So very often counselors and therapists provide the solution, and coach becomes a central person where if there is a need for deeper dive into some problem or some issues which are more deeper, coach can be the key individual who can suggest that yes, he or she should see a therapy or a counselor, or he or she should actually see a psychiatrist. So he becomes the key bridge, so that you can review along with the life coach. They are well equipped, they are the experts. So often I would encourage parents to check if he or she has some certification, a youth coaching certification, or ICF, which is a very well-known certification in the coaching areas. If these certifications are often there, parents should not hesitate to go ahead and have this extension of family extension into their family, because this becomes a very, very important. So I hope you get that clarity, and more than happy to have more further conversation if at all you require any more information. So all the very best, parents, and I'm hoping that you will take the opportunity to appoint a life coach with your teenagers. Thank you so much.